I joined a company before completing my master's. My first job was as an internship, or as you can say, the robotics engineer. Currently, I'm working in data house
Okay.
as a test manager.
Mhm.
I have a team of 3 now,
Wow.
and we are basically leading the entire quality assurance for this company called Boost Partner, which is our client. In Portugal, in my university here, 98% of the course was practical. And when I
Super.
compare this to India, um, we have almost no practical. And even if you have practicals, it's very narrowed to one particular thing. I studied masters in autonomous systems, which is
Mhm.
robotics, and my specialization was drones.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you specialized about drones. So you studied
Yes.
about the drones 7, 8 years before.
From the bachelor's degree itself, they should be more focused on asking why, especially on electronics part. I think this everyone should ask why, but I could just speak for my domain. Be very focused on electronics, have your basics right, uh, be very hands-on, sit with your professors, ask things that are probably not in your syllabus, but you want to know them. Even if they cannot tell you, just try to find the answers, because that process will already prepare you for the masters. Actually, it's quite good in Europe, the work-life balance. People don't ask you to work after 5. And now that we have summers here, we get like 5 hours of a day, like full sun. You can go to the beach and you can enjoy with your family and stuff. I think that work-life balance is quite good here in Europe.
Hello, everybody. Welcome all of you. My name is Shivaraman, Director of Europe Study Center. So we have been doing lot of interviews and motivating the young minds through our YouTube channel. So in the same concept, today we are going to interview our student Zubair, whom we have sent many years before to Portugal and currently working in Portugal. Zubair, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yep. Hi, everybody. I'm Zubair, and I'm from India. As you all know, I studied my bachelor's from Bangalore, from Vijay Vetala Institute of Technology. And on the final year, I decided that I wanted to pursue my master's in robotics. And then I got in touch with the Europe Study Center, and they helped me move to Portugal. And then I studied my master's in robotics from ISEP in Porto for 2 years. And then I'm currently working in a Swiss real estate company as a test manager since last 1 year already.
Excellent. So before I ask you other questions, Portugal, even today, it's an offbeat location for masters.
Yeah.
Okay. So any specific reason to choose Portugal?
Like for this question, a lot of people ask me, but I always give one answer that I don't think I chose Portugal. I think Portugal chose me. It was never an intention to move to Portugal. For me as well, like any other uncles and aunties in India, world ended in Spain. I didn't know if this country existed, and then happened to be that I got an opportunity to work to come in Portugal, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
Yes.
Portugal has been treating me like amazing. The people are good, the food is good, the weather is amazing compared to rest the part of Europe. Yeah.
Wonderful. No complaints and only happiness. Excellent. And
Yeah. Complaints will be there for. I think wherever you live, there'll always be something that you don't like, but that's a part of it.
and also for you to break the barrier and overcome, your neighbor's input, your uncle, auntie's input. Why are you going here? There is so-called UK, there is so-called Ireland. Why are you choosing this? So many things you have to break, more than your
Absolutely,
self-interest
absolutely,
in a country like India. Even the neighbor's opinion
absolutely,
matters. I know plenty of neighbors who have misguided plenty of children's life.
absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful. So then, did you look into other countries? Or you were focusing only on Europe?
I was fully focused on Europe. I was
Super.
not looking for any other thing. My focus was just for Europe. I was willing for Germany. Even 3 years from now, I was willing to settle myself in Germany. But now I have this shift in mindset. I would like to be here for rest. I don't know till when. Let's see. But my
Okay,
focus was just in Europe. I also tried in Italy, but then I chose Portugal.
sure. Then how did you find Europe Study Center?
It was very good. It was very crystal clear process. It was very streamlined. I'm not aware of the specifics. The ma'am who was in touch with me, I'm sorry, I don't know the name, but it was as far as I remember, it was super clear process. It was very good until I landed here. People who got in touch with me, the university, as they described me in the Europe Study Center Bangalore branch, it was up to the mark.
Super. Because if the university is not good, I will never promote it. And I am the only person,
Of course.
yeah, who will not send a child abroad for a 1 year master's or a PG diploma or a local chota mota universities. Never, ever in my lifetime. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I hear it from a successful student like you, it makes me even more happy. So then we studied back home in a different education system. And in Europe, it's a different education system. So when you joined your university in the first semester, I know it's long back, but could you recollect, did you make any changes in your learning system so that you could be successfully finishing your exams?
Yes, absolutely. Because in Portugal, in my university here, 98% of the course was practical. And when I
Super.
compare this to India, um, we have almost no practical. And even if you have practicals, it's very narrowed to one particular thing. You cannot play around with stuff. If you ask questions other than the syllabus, people might not know, with all due respect, and they might not have that much knowledge to answer your question. And that's why you
Yes.
do your masters. That's the intention for you to do your masters. And um, I came here, it was complete shift. If they just gave me hardware and I told them I want to buy a new one, they were like, no, we have a couple of them in the garage. Just bring them and try to check if it's working for you, fix it and use it. And it was very very different for me, basically.
Excellent, excellent. I always say this, you may have a 100-acre campus, hundreds of college buses and super laboratories and all those things. But without qualified professors,
Sure.
dedicated, committed professors, you are never going to give high quality education to the younger generation. So,
Right.
do
Absolutely.
you accept this, and how good were your professors?
In here it was amazing. People, professors were really helpful, but they push you to the limits. They don't help you in the sense that um, in every bits and pieces. If you just haven't tried anything for 2 weeks, for them it means that you tried something. If you tried something for one day, it means that you haven't tried enough. Um, and that's already very good. And they are very helpful, very humble. I saw students being there in the university for the entire night. We had bathrooms, we had like shower facilities and stuff, because people were that dedicated that they would
Super.
not leave the laboratory unless and until the test is done. And people were very helpful. The professors were amazing. The course was in English, and that was the important point. I heard from other people as well. The course was not in English, but ours fortunately was in English. Yeah.
Yeah, because we promote only courses where medium of instruction is only in English. Because
Right.
learning in any other language, for me, it's out of the box. I don't think it's possible. It's better to stick to English. Wonderful. So, how are the university? Its infrastructure.
Well, we had everything that we needed
Okay.
in the university. Specifically about my course, it was a bit discreet. It was a bit separated from the rest of the university, because we had our own laboratories. We had our own a bit a different system than other part of the university, but we didn't interacted much with other infrastructure of the entire university, just the canteen and then some other places. But
Okay.
we had everything that we needed in our
Needed.
room.
Okay. Excellent. So, by the way, one more time, you could say, what did you study in your masters? What program?
I studied masters in autonomous systems, which is
Mhm.
robotics, and my specialization was drones.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you specialized about drones. So you studied these
Yes,
about the drones 7, 8 years before.
yes, right.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Super. So my next question was, you know, 2, 3 aspects which you changed your learning pattern, because back home in India we study theoretically, but in Europe it's completely different. You did you make any changes in your learning pattern specifically? Certain
Um,
things.
yes, I did a lot of hands-on. I did a lot of googling. I did
Okay.
a lot of paper research, studying the state of art, not just studying what I'm doing, but also studying what other people have done in that area.
Wow.
Really helped me.
Smart.
Um, and yeah, googling a lot, hands-on, try things out, studying the state of art. I think those were the things that really helped me.
Because that's more important, right? I believe
Right.
since you had the interest and the eagerness to learn, whatever the difficulties, you were able to overcome, because the fundamental was the interest to learn and to explore. Wonderful. This is why,
Right.
when somebody calls me in the landline or in the mobile phone, sir, my interest is doing only part-time job. Somehow send me to Europe. Then I tell them, I have kept the company's name very clearly. Europe Study Center. If you
Studies.
are interested to study, contact me. Otherwise, why you waste
Right.
your time? You go to UK, the other consultants are waiting. Here it's
Right.
only studies, because if I send 100 students, if at least 90 of them are not studying, I will have to face the university. I will have to answer them.
Absolutely.
Why,
Yeah.
why are you sending these sort of students who are not interested? So, thank you. So, what time did you finish up your degree? Which year?
It took me 1 year extra.
Okay.
So I should have done it in 2017, but I did it in late 2018.
Okay.
Reason
Okay.
because I joined I joined a company before
Oh,
completing my masters, and which took time for me to complete my thesis in the end.
it's not like you finished late. You took a break. You had some professional experience and then finishing up a degree,
Right.
which is quite common in
Absolutely.
European countries. Maybe for people
Right.
in India it may be strange, but in
Yeah.
Europe
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
quite common.
But I think I can say that they,
Yes.
at least in my university, completing master in 3 years is actually considered good. I have students,
Good.
I know students who haven't completed their masters in 5 years, 6 years, and they are very okay about it because they wanted to make sure that whatever they are presenting, it's up to the mark. They just don't want to present anything.
But yeah, all said and done, it's good to finish it within time. If, of course, in your
Yeah,
case, you took a break for work and you still finished the
yeah,
degree on time, which is fantastic. Excellent.
yeah.
So then, when did you start your job search and what was your first job? Because I saw your LinkedIn profile, plenty of you know uh, job experiences. So, what was your first job?
My first job was as an internship, or as you can say, the robotics engineer in one of the very cool towns near my house now. I was a robotic engineer. It was a company called RoboSavvy.
Okay.
I was basically programming the ground robot there,
Okay.
and I built some softwares for them, like following a man in the front because we have a warehouse here for a post company, and they want
Okay.
big pallets to move from one place to another, and all everything was
Okay.
done by human before. So we
Okay.
developed a robot for them, and the application was if a man is in the front, the robot needs to follow him, and that was
Wow.
my work there.
Excellent, man. Very, very uh, interesting. Interesting. Excellent. So now, currently, where are you working and what's your designation?
Currently, I'm working in data house
Okay.
as a test manager.
Mhm.
I have a team of three now,
Wow.
and we are basically leading the entire quality assurance for this company called Woos Partner, which is our client. Um, and yeah, we are basically taking care of the end-to-end testing process of the application itself.
Super. From the student visa, and how did it change to current work permit and then your current status of your visa in the European country? Because it's almost 10 years you're there. right from the day of your
Yeah,
studies.
it's been 10 years. Yeah,
Explain us
it will be
about
ten
this
years
entire.
in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the starting, when we came here, only locals and quite some friends were the help,
Mhm.
and just to get the first residence card was a bit pain. But after that, since you just need to renew it, and once you get a job, and then you have some set of documents that you can um, put with your renewal, and then you are still working, and then you repeat the same thing for quite a few years. I think the process is quite straightforward. It now has become complicated because of the amount of immigrants that are coming to Portugal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think it was back then it was very straightforward. And getting the citizenship, yeah, I took my citizenship like 2 years later. I could have done it like 5 years ago, but I only did it 2 years ago because I never felt the need of doing it.
Okay.
Um, and now I felt like, okay, why not? I have time. I can dedicate some time and some will to gather
Do
my
this.
documents and apply for passport, and I did it, and I got it here.
Wonderful. So you are a Portuguese citizen now.
Yes, I am.
Congratulations and happy for you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
So that
much.
that will be applicable for your entire family, of course. Your wife.
Yeah, my wife. No, my wife could already apply for the citizenship, but she is not because now we are taking care of other important stuff.
Okay, okay,
My
okay.
daughter is, as you know, she's already Portuguese because she was born here.
Born here. Okay.
Um, and yeah, yeah,
So how old is she? Your daughter?
she's 2.5 now.
Wow. Super, super, super. So busy parenting, taking care of office. It's a lot, right, on the table, especially when they are very young.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, I can say.
Of course, it's fun. I mean to say, balancing time and managing all these
Sure,
things becomes excellent.
absolutely.
So now, then, talk to us about Portugal. You know, the country, the people, the culture, how friendly they are. Of course, about the beaches in Portugal to our audience.
Well, Portugal, I can say, is an amazing country. People, I think, they don't value Portugal that much. They don't used to. Now the shift is coming. People who used to come to Portugal before were used to come to just get the residence card, get the entry to Europe, and then go somewhere else like Germany, Sweden, Norway. Because a lot of people tell them, "Oh, why are you here working for a 1,500 euro salary? You can go to Germany and work for double or triple. I don't know." And they would do that. And now the shift is coming. People are coming to Portugal to stay in Portugal because they
Portugal.
know the value that Portugal is giving them, the
Mhm.
safety that Portugal is giving them. Even now, I can say that even my sister, when she sometimes come here, she even if she comes at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, in whichever town
Super,
in Portugal, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about her. I know that
super.
she will be back home on time, well, and everybody is helping her whenever it's needed. Um, Regarding in terms of food, it's amazing. It was quite easy for me because I came from North India, then I came to
Yeah.
Bangalore, then I came to Portugal. So it was already quite a lot of food shift. So for me, Portugal was amazing. Fishes, I like really fishes from here. The beaches, as you say, are amazing. Portugal
Amazing.
landscape gives you a lot of liberty. You have beaches, you have mountains, then you have historical stuff just near my home. Like if you go 20 kilometers left and right, you see complete different landscape.
Different.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But for me, it was a bit easier to get along with Portuguese because I got a hold on the Portuguese language quite
Okay.
soon.
Okay.
I would say in 3 4 years I was talking to people in
Okay.
Portuguese, and that helped me really a lot to get the confidence among local people because
Local people.
yeah, I think it's very much needed.
Excellent. Excellent. I believe, until today, getting your citizenship, I guess it all started from the point of I want to learn and I want to explore and travel the world. Am I right, Zubair? It starts from there.
Uh, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Traveling the world, yes, I think it's a part of it, but for me, it was more of that I want something and I'm not getting it here. So
Yeah.
who can provide me that? And I was in search of that 10 years ago. And it happened to be Portugal gave me that opportunity, and I just came here. I am not saying that I have traveled the entire Europe in this 10 years, but I have traveled enough. Um,
Enough.
and yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. What I feel is, Zubair, you can correct me with your opinion if you feel what I say is not okay for you. If for example, a master's will cost 13, 14 lakhs nowadays in Europe, bare minimum. Okay. So if their parents could afford it in whatever means, and I guess they should grab with both of their hands and study. Instead of spending all these 80 lakhs, 90 lakhs, they sell their ancestral properties and go abroad. Only God can save those children. But I feel going abroad, if possible at bachelor's, or if not, at least at master's, and exploring all these things, I think no youngster should miss it if they can afford it. What is your opinion on this?
Um, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Thank you.
But I also feel, adding to your point, is that I think the preparation starts way before you come to Europe. Because
Yes.
sometimes a lot of people still come to Europe just, okay, I will go there, I will do my master's, and I get a job. It's very simple, and it's not that simple.
No, no.
Because you have to do a lot of hard work. In India, we are prepared. I'm not saying it's 70% of the time. We are prepared to just, oh, my bulb is not working, so I will call a guy, and he will come. I will give him the money, and I will fix the bulb. My there is a water leakage, so I will call a guy. I will give him the money, and he'll fix it for me. And in Europe, starting from the day one, you will have to deal with your problems, your stuff on your own, because the guy would ask me your entire salary, and so you better learn. So I think that the preparation, and during this process, people get frustrated. They're like, I
Okay.
came here to do. They told me that I will earn a lot of money, and that is not happening, or not happening quite soon. So why is that? So people get frustrated, and they end up going back. Some people who stick, their life has changed. I know a lot of
Yes.
people who stuck to this. They have learned a lot of stuff. They overcome their difficulties. They became like Europeans along the
Yeah.
way, and now they are in amazing position. People who couldn't, they are back. So
They're back.
the point here is, if you can afford to change yourself as a person
Yes.
and be that strong guy, Europe is for you. But
Yes.
if you come with a mentality that someone could iron my shirt, or someone could clean my home, or someone could fix stuff for me, I think
Done.
it's better. I think that's not a problem. You can have that mentality, but it's better you stay in India, get a job there, do your bachelor's, and save some money and start earning early.
Well said, Zubair. Because see, the point, especially the last 3 minutes, what you said, that's the whole objective of doing these interviews. It is not about glorifying Europe Study Center. I would have not even
Absolutely.
asked you any question about Europe Study Center. It's about your journey. And even yesterday, Zubair, I got a question from a family. Sir, everything is fine, sir. Your staff is taking care, doing all the process. Sir, my son will 100% get a job. I said, like, your question is right, but you should not ask me. You should ask your son.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't
True.
blame the father, Zubair, because all the offices he went, they promised job for his son. They promised
Yeah.
handful of dollars when he does part-time job. He can
Yeah.
pay the
That's sad.
second year tuition fees by working part-time job. But people still sit and believe all these nonsense. That is where the problem starts.
Right.
And they complain me, sir, you tell my students, sorry, my son, don't do part-time. Getting job is in your hands. Even though I feel it's right, but it's very strange because we don't hear this
Absolutely.
outside. I said, forget about all those things. You sit and learn and you study.
Yeah.
And also, what do you think about the concept? I have two questions to ask you now. First is, which one do you believe? Lack of skills or lack of jobs?
Lack of skills.
Exactly. That's our mantra. This is what we have been telling at ESC. Please, please, please don't think about lack of jobs, because you see a group of youngsters, not everybody, some groups, they never discuss about lack of skills. They only talk about stressful jobs, no jobs, less
Yeah.
paid jobs, because the assumption is we got 80% or 70% in our degree. So we have all the skills.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yeah.
say no.
That's true. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is one.
That's true. That's
And
sad,
then,
but true.
yeah, that's sad but true. To clarify these aspects only, I'm doing these 100 interviews. And I also say, spend less, learn more. What is your opinion
Right.
on that?
I totally agree on that. If you could afford to spend less and learn more, totally go for that.
why not grab it with both of your
Yeah,
hands, right?
sure, absolutely.
Super. So, for example, a student, who is studying his mechatronics or electronics or robotics, watching these interviews, as a successful person in this particular domain, what would you like to tell them? What sort of subjects or domains they should learn if they are open-minded for inputs?
Um, I think from the bachelor's degree itself, they should be more focused on asking why, especially on electronics part. I think this everyone should ask why, but I could just speak for my domain. Be very focused on electronics, have your basics right, um, be very hands-on, sit with your professors, ask things that are probably not in your syllabus, but you want to know them. Even if they cannot tell you, just try to find the answers, because that process will already prepare you for the masters.
Super.
And you will know that just you might have forgotten the formula there, but the process to get to the formula, to get to the answer, will help you to uh, do your masters well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Which is, I feel it's all the more important.
Yes.
Because people either they lose interest in studies or they want to, some parents still come and ask me, sir, I have only one question to ask. Get me my son a short course, 3 months, 4 months, sir. But he should get good salary. Then I say, go watch some movie where everything changes in 5 minutes.
Right.
This is what they ask. So that is why I asked you this question: how well they should be prepared. And also, this European education installs, as me also as a student who studied in Europe, installs a quality of lifelong learning for you to keep growing. So kindly talk about the concept of lifelong learning and how important it is.
Um, I think for the one who really needs it, it's very, very important. I would say you save a lot of money there, but you just don't save it instantly. You spend a lot of money, give a lot of fine, um, break a lot of things, and then you learn. But once you become that person, you will see that you are one man army. And that's a dangerous combination, I would say. For me, if you think that you can do everything on your own, that's a very good sign of you evolving as a person, because you don't rely on anybody else to fix your stuff, to do things for you. And I think that's what prepares you when you leave your home. I don't say that you leave your home to come to Europe or US or UK. You leave
Your
your
wish,
home to
yes.
go from Delhi to Bangalore or Bangalore to Chennai. You leave your comfort zone, and that's what
Yes.
prepares you. Yeah. So I
Perfect.
think in life you use those things, you use the mistakes, because those initially you might feel that these are your mistakes, but I think those will be your learnings forever, and you will evolve as a person.
Exactly. And you should not be afraid to make
Make
mistakes or
mistakes.
face failures, because everything only makes you stronger. I could still
Absolutely.
recollect, in the year of 2009, I was processing 6 students, 6 students. That was my first batch. And from there, you reach out to this close to 1,000 students. When you process, it's a whole lot of difference. But setbacks and failures will only make you stronger and not
Yeah.
weaker. Yes.
Absolutely.
Second last question before we sum up this interview. Many students, as you rightly pointed out, Zubair, they get to Europe and they lose focus. They don't go to classes. Not many, few of them. So kindly enlighten the students and parents why it is so important to stay focused towards the prime objective, that is learning and skill development.
I think a lot of students drifts away because
Yeah.
they see the colorful life when coming here. They see a lot of parties. They see a lot of people going crazy about nightlife and enjoying. I'm not saying that that's an issue. I used to do that, but I think if you do things in limits, everything will be good. You
Balance.
will not.
Balance.
Yes, you need to balance that. You just cannot buy a house just because it's fancy, just right beside the disco or pub. Just because it's fancy, or other foreigners are living there, and so on and so forth. This will affect your studies, your career path, for sure, 200%. But if you're a guy who wants to go to parties, yes, once in 3 months, that's perfectly fine. You want to enjoy with friends, yes, it happens. That, but I think it happens mostly with people who have never seen this. They just leave
Mhm.
home and they're like, Okay, now no one is asking me about something. No one is asking me when I come home, and I can do whatever I want. And they end up, okay, they enjoy that night, but they end up destroying their career, and they
This
learn quite late. And that's the problem. And people who just stay away from those kind of distractions, I think for them it gets easier and easier. They find more opportunities. They talk to a lot of locals. They get those shortcuts, and that help them to really narrow down.
Yes, and I perfectly agree with you because maybe you would have had experience of looking at maybe 30, 40 students, but in my 16 years, close to 10,000 students, only those who are focused, those who are interested, those who are ready to face failures and setbacks, only those guys made it big, and you are one among the classic example. And Zubair, you would also love this point. I get a lot of comments nowadays because these interviews, Zubair, are being watched by school children. They are watching these interviews
Okay.
when they are in their sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, So it makes
Wow.
me even more responsible. And in this entire interview, we are only talking positivity. Explore,
Absolutely.
learn, believe in lack of skills, spend
Yeah.
less, don't do part-time job, only positivity and nothing else.
Yeah.
Super. And for you to take your time out, even though you have a small baby, and taking your time out on a weekend and doing this interview, we are really thankful to you guys. And imagine, Zubair, even if it motivates one student, we both should be like, really happy. Our 1 hour time at
Absolutely.
least motivates one person.
Absolutely.
Yes, super happy.
That's worth it. Yes. Totally agree.
Excellent. So, how do you do this work-life balance? How good it is in Europe and your last company where you're working right now?
Actually, it's quite good in Europe, the work-life balance. People don't ask you to work after 5. And now that we have summers here, we get like 5 hours of a day, like full sun. You could go to the beach and you could enjoy with your family and stuff. I think the work-life balance is quite good here in Europe. Some people
Super.
just take it on themselves. They work extra. It's totally on them, but the company don't ask them to work extra.
No force.
If you
Okay.
cannot, if you cannot do the stuff in 8 hours, you cannot do the stuff in 10 hours. Um, yeah, so you better be productive and do quality work than do quantity work.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Super. I like the point which you said. When you cannot do this in 5, 6 hours, you are not going to do that in 10 hours also because you are
Right.
not focused. Very, very
Yeah.
good answer. So, lastly, would you like to say anything to our young audience watching this interview and who is ready to take their next steps? Certain words for them before we sum up this interview?
No, I think the only thing I would say is that prepare yourself in every aspect possible. Test your limits. Do things that you think will make you irritated, because I think when life happens, it will hit that point more, and then you'll be like you're very demotivated. So test your limits, do stuff, study well, ask questions, ask why. Even if you don't get the answers, try to find the answers. And I think those all points will help you, not just in your masters, in your studies, getting a job, but you as a person. Um, yeah, it'll help you in life.
Excellent. It's a beautiful interview. And whatever you have said, with out of your 10 years experience, that's what we have been doing in our company, installing this thought process into young minds. And also, Zubair, to tell you, many students have started their journey at UG level itself to European
Okay.
countries. Bachelor's itself in a European country, which is wow. You and me did it only in
Yes.
PG level, but now kids,
Yeah.
getting to do in a European country at bachelor's, it's amazing. One last thing, can you guess the fee structure for bachelor's in Chennai or Bangalore in a top private university per year? Approximately.
Uh, 10, 15 lakhs?
No, that's on the higher side. 7, 8 lakhs.
No.
Easily
7, 8
they
lakhs?
charge per year for an engineering fees. I
Okay.
hear all these things and I get shocked because
Mhm.
people coming to our office, they always say, sir, we are not aware about all these things. So that's why also I decided, we should make these interviews and enlighten the audiences, that is the students and the parents. Zubair, thank you so much. And this interview is happening on a Saturday. He spends his time to create all this awareness. Thank you so much, Zubair. As I told you before,
Thank you very
even if one
much.
student watches this interview and he gets benefited, all the credit goes to you. Okay. Best
Oh,
wishes to
thank you very much.
best wishes to you, and all the very best for your family, and our hi to your little daughter. And once she
Absolutely,
grows
will
up,
do.
she will be watching this interview and understand how Papa worked hard and made it big. Because even after 10 years, you will forget many of the things that you told in this interview. But this video will always
Absolutely.
be there to recollect
Yes.
all these memories. Wonderful. Thank you so much, man. I learned a lot of things talking to you. Best wishes.
Likewise. Thank you,
Take care.
Sudarshan. Thank you very
Bye bye.
much. You
Bye
too.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.